Welcome to the final and deciding round of the World Championship, held at Watkins Glen, about 250 miles from New York. Onto the practice area here for the riders that felt they needed it, and Rob Crawford showing a few spectators how he thinks it should be done. Quite muddy conditions. Quick shot of Saunders there, offering a bit of advice. And Narita doing a few tricks on the logs there. Onto the start itself. Tommy Avala there, current world number 2, possibly soon to be number 1. And his minder and his brother. And Mark Colombe there, probably one of the hottest properties for the factories for next year. And again Rob Crawford. British champion Steve Saunders there, a bit of paddock posing. And here he has a quick chat with Steve Colley's minder, Woody Hole. Jordi Terrace arriving in style. And Robert there with his minder, Colin Boniface. Quick shot here of Donato Miglio and Amos Bilbao there. All looking a little bit nervous. Woody there and Steve Colley. And so on to the trial itself. Donato Miglio. Very stylish as usual. Flips the back end over very easily there. And up the climb. One of the more easy sections, this one, but quite easy to get it wrong if you're not sure of yourself at this early stage in the trial. Juan Pons here. Another rider who's certainly going to improve next year. Seemed to come from nowhere and quite a regular point scorer now. And Narita there. 8th last year in the world, this year looking like going to finish about 6th, something like that. Slight improvement anyway. In fact, he's one of the few Japanese that have not ridden for a Japanese factory. Decided that the Beta was the bike he wanted to have, and certainly has improved. Steve Colley now, Britain's best finisher in the World Championships this year, hoping to sneak into the top 10 and do even better in 1993. Himself up a little bit for the climb out, and no problem at all there. Into section 3 now, Rob Crawford. Colin Boniface following him round. I'm telling him exactly where he's got to put his wheels. It is quite important on this section though, because you have to be inch perfect for the last double step out. Still not fully happy with where he is.
Hold it.
It actually makes that look quite easy. Bilbao here. Another rider who's improved quite a lot this year. That was very tidy, flicking his back end around almost in one go. Yeah, the crowd like that. Tommy Avala there. Studying everybody's line before he makes his own attempt, and now Berlatier. Berlatier has had a pretty eventful year this year, but he's going to drop a few places in the overall standings, making way for riders such as Bilbao and Cologne. Has to take a dab there. Bruno Camozzi now. Fairly rorty sounding Fantic there. It does look quite a big bike to manoeuvre, but the wheelbase is pretty similar to all the others. It just seems to look long with the tank and seat arrangement. And up the step, no problems. Miglio again. Just keeping his balance there. Miglio, one of the less forceful riders, seems to be able to just get by without using that extra bit of force that a lot of the riders do lose. Juan Pons now.
Ara baixo de davant i fan un canvi, no? Sí. Has de posar la darrere allà sobre la dreta, la de davant bastant cap a la dreta. Pugen molt per la dreta.
this section, really the camera doesn't show how difficult it is. It's very slippery, those steps that you can see in front there. That's why they're making absolute certain that they're getting absolutely lined up perfectly. Quite easily there. And narrator again. Seems to have his own particular style. It's quite easy to spot. Looks to have gone round a little bit further than everybody else with his back end, as though he's taken a slightly different line. And he does, and actually cleans it easily. Colombe now. Riding number 11 next year. He'll probably be riding, I would think he's 5th or 6th, something like that. He really does flick the back end round with absolute no effort. Going from strength to strength. Just getting his front wheel on the top of the rock there to make his effort. And makes that look like a main road. Sembanini now. Drops down into the stream. And Geordie Tarras here, riding for the last time as world champion in 1992. It still looks a superb rider, very, very controlled. Very nice with the trips there, and no problems. And here's the man that's going to take over his number 1 spot for next year. It's going to be a very interesting World Championship next year with Tarras and Avala probably fighting it out with people like Colombe and Amos Bilbao. Tommy here, very unspectacular, just so smooth. Never really looks like he's trying. Nothing dramatic. And he's lost his front end there. He won't be happy with that. Most of his rivals have cleaned it. And Bossis now. Been in the top 2 or 3 in the world for 5 or 6 years. Never world champion, but who knows? Maybe next year. Always seems to start off well in the year and looks like he's going to be world champion, and then seems to fade mid-season. Again, cleans that easily. And René Opstal's there and Steve Saunders there. This section very, very steep and very, very slippery.
No, it's just going out.
And Rob Crawford there trying to dig a new line for himself. And Steve Saunders makes his attempt, full throttle, and just doesn't quite get onto the top bit. It's a good clap for a good effort, but still a 5. Amos having a wander up, a look around. And Crawford makes his attempt and does what Saunders told him to do. And Bilbao, brilliant attempt, brilliant. You can see his back wheel skidding away there, fighting for grip. But still got a lot of hard pieces of the section to go now. And, well, I can only say it's debatable now. He's really fighting it and the crowd are cheering him on. Well, he may just get a 3 for that, who knows. Berlatier, nowhere near. And Steve Colley here. Let's have a bit of speed, yep. Just gets onto the top. Go on, Steve, push. And again, this is going to be debatable and difficult to observe. Sections like this, when all the work in the gym and the training and the practicing comes in for your fitness. Again, I don't really know what he got, but he gets a good cheer for a good effort. Dave Willoughby there. And Cologne now makes his attempt. Got a lot of revs on. Yeah, too many revs on. Geordie having a good look. And Narita now, sending the stones scattering. He's nearly got up, but just didn't quite get his foot in the right place. And now Geordie. Plenty of speed on, but again he didn't get his foot in the right place. So near to getting up. Tommy. Yeah, superb throttle control there. And virtually even kept it going. So far this is one of the best attempts we've seen. Yeah, good round of applause for that, good effort. In section 10 now, bosses. Quite muddy here. Should make the Brits feel a bit more at home. And he's edging his way around there. He's going to flip the back end over. Just resting his front wheel against a tree stump there. He's got nicely wedged there, so he's just composing himself again and having a look round before he sets off again. Has to take a dab there, just loses his balance. Over the ditch. A little bit of a man-made hazard this one, a few logs thrown in so that the jump across the ditch is not too bad. And Bosses finishes off nicely. And now former world champion Thierry Michaud with his unmistakable style. Really does make you wonder how he just keeps on and on trying. He's been at the very highest level for probably 10 years now. And he's still in the top 10 in the world and really has one of the best throttle control riders. Little bit of a forgotten art that these days. And jumps the ditch nicely. A steep cambered bank this, and he's losing his back end a little bit. But just flicks it back into line, no problem. Just getting his front wheel in line. Not quite happy with where he is. Flicks it across there, no worries. And Bilbao now. Very precise with his back end there, flicking it round. Looks to be in a little bit of a rush. And Robert again. Having a bit better ride now. Had a bit of an illness mid-season, but he's coming back to some of the form that we all know he's capable of. He won't attempt the step until he's absolutely sure he's spot on. Very nicely. Very long sections as usual. Drops it down there. Quite a big step, that one. Just drop off. Lining himself up for stinging the tail. A bit of an awkward step at the top of this one. Colin Boniface, as ever, telling him exactly how to do it. And now nipping off to catch him should he fail to do it. And there he goes. Gets a bit out of control, but probably gets a 2 for that. Quite a good attempt. And Bilbao again. Looking very businesslike. Very confident. Again, he's not prepared to attempt it until he's absolutely sure, and he floats up that double step, no problems. And the crowd are giving them good applause before they've even finished the sections. It's good to see. Again, off this nasty little drop off. Lines himself up again, using as much as space as he can, right back to the tapes. Away we go. Bit of a struggle, but yeah, lucky to get away with a 3 there. And the fiery Frenchman, Philippe Berlatier, once again. Been struggling a bit with his form this year, and struggling a bit with one or two of the officials as well in some of the other trials. Up he goes. Another rider who's been around for quite a few years. Taking his time. Goes up that one nicely though. And flicks it off that one very confidently. And ready for the sting in the tail again. And up he goes, and he's caught his sump. And drives his bike up really strong. Come Ozzy again. And again, Bruno taking his time. He's one of the riders I would have expected to improve on his 5th position but in the world, but I think he's actually going to drop down a place or two.
Is there anything I should do for this light? Tina.
A bit awkward lining up there with wheels on different levels. And there he goes. Oh, very nice ride, very nice. And Miglio again. Never quite world champion, a bit similar to Bossis, got as high as world number 2. And now he seems to be going slightly downwards. But still very smooth and very nice to watch. Just seems to lack just that bit of aggression. Shakes himself up, has a look at it. Off he goes. He's got wrong a bit there. It's a definite 5. A little bit slow perhaps. And Collie showing quite a bit of aggression in his riding now. I think you have to do that at the world level these days. Building in confidence. He's all signed up with Beta for another year, 1993, so that should see him go further up the world ladder with a bit of luck. A lot of hard work. Nice and easy up that one. Edging his way downstream, gives it a bit going down there, splashes a few people. The important bit coming up now. Up he goes, and that was a very good dab because his sump just looked like it was going to catch there, and it would have been a 5. Jordi Tarras there again, looking like he knows he's not going to be world champion and not very happy about it. And Narita there just floats up, lovely ride. And Jordi himself. Oh, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That looked effortless, but certainly can't have been. And Cologne now. Well, same result. Not quite as tidy, but clean's a clean. And now, Tommy Avala. Oh. And just looked like he might have pulled that out for a dab. Onto the finish area now. Everybody wants a photo of Tommy.
Tämä kilpailu oli tosi semmoinen rankka kilpailu mulle, koska pelkäsin koko ajan tyhmiä mokia.
And Jordi doing his best impression of being happy, but he must be really sick. But who knows what he might do next year. It's going to be a hell of a battle.
What do you do next after the World Championship?
Actually, it's a little bit too early to think what I'm going to do. So my head is so empty after this very hard day, one of the hardest days in my life. So it's very difficult to plan anything for future now.
And how was the trial today?
It was a little bit too easy because I expected the trial would be very difficult, and I was confident that in difficult conditions I would be champion. But then I recognized that the competition was very easy, and also Jordi was going just front of me all the competition, and he was going very well first 2 laps. So I wasn't anymore so sure if I'm going to make it or not.
Okay.
But then after second lap, I saw that I'm very close still to be world champion, and then I decided to try one last time. And then also I saw that Jordi became a little tired and he made some mistakes, so I was sure after half of the last lap that I can make it, and then the end was very easy for me.
Okay, congratulations. We wish you all the best for 1993.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Arados or Rados, whatever it is.
Right, Steve, 6th today, 9th in the championship. You must be very happy with your performance this year.
Yeah, I'm delighted today. Had like a really good ride. Woody's been brilliant all year. Today's trial very English type sections and everything. So for me, it's been fairly easy to get a decent result. But, no, I've had like a good year this year. I can't complain. I got me to number 13 now, which hasn't been too bad this year. No, we've had like a great year.
And how's life as a minder been this year, Woody?
It's easy. You go out at night. As long as you're up for the start, it doesn't matter. No, it's been really good. I mean, it took a couple of rounds to get into it, but after that, it's just like riding really, but talking your way through the section. So, but no, we've been a good team. I hope.
Yeah, I hope. I just like to say, I hope I can have him next year. It's been like superb this year. Calm me down when I have some moods and paddies and whatever. But no, I think we've been a superb team this year, and I'd be like really proud to have him next year.
Right, thanks very much. We wish you all the best for next year.
Okay, thanks.
Cheers. Okay, Steve, how's the trial been today?
Alright, it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The only problem was, first 2 laps I was riding around with Rob Crawford, and that caused me great problems. 3rd lap I rode a lot better with him not being around me, so I know for the future, don't I?
Okay, Rob, we've just finished the American round of the World Trials Championship. How's the trial been today?
The trial has been excellent today. I think I could go as far as saying it's been one of the best World Championships I've rode in this year. Super sections, no real problems with time, and it was all really sort of a little bit on the conventional side, but there was still a lot of trick riding and things in there, but it was a really enjoyable day, really good sections. Yeah.
And are you pleased with your performance in the championship this year?
Obviously not really, but at the start of the station, yes, and then in the middle of the station, no, I wasn't on the pace. But I'm pleased, although the result's not fantastic today, I was pleased how I've ridden, especially the first 2 laps, and it was pretty close on marks and things like that. So I'm happy how it's finished. So you know, that's okay.
Okay, and Colin, how's life been as a minder this year?
Very interesting, yeah. Good trial, really enjoyed it. And look, I don't know what to say.
And have you enjoyed working as a mechanic for Rob?
Yeah, Rob is a very interesting person to work for. He's got an awful lot of ability, and I'm sure he's going to go far.
Okay, thanks very much. Wish you all the best for next year. Cheers.
Thank you very much indeed.